ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Namaste, dear all. A warm welcome to you all on behalf of Swabha Foundation. We are delighted to welcome you all to the Rudradhyaya course, which will be spread over 20 weeks. The first class is today, and this course is guided by Dr. Guha Vishwanath, sir. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a blessing to be come together and be here to explore this sacred text, which appears in Krishna Yajurveda, dedicated to Shiva. And for those of you who are new to Swabha Foundation and our organization, I'll just brief about Swabha Foundation. We are 3 years old, and Swabha is an NGO, and it was started by like-minded professionals who are very passionate about promoting Sanatana Dharma and rooted in Bharatiya tradition. Through discourses, classes, Upanishad classes, we promote Sanatana Dharma. We aim to promote Sanatana Dharma. And Swabha believes that Bharatiya spiritual traditions are not merely rituals of the past, but living wisdom that can guide individuals towards balanced, purposeful, and harmonious life. And all of you are familiar with Dr. Guha Vishwanath, sir. However, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Dr. M.V. Guha Vishwanath is a versatile Sanskrit scholar and educator based in Mysore, recognized for his multilingual instruction of Sanskrit Shastras and deep expertise in Vedic literature, Indian philosophy, Jyotisha, and classical Sanskrit poetics. He currently serves as adjunct professor at the Department of Heritage Sciences, IIT Hyderabad, and is the chief astrology consultant at Vivek Spiritual Sutra Private Limited. Dr. Vishwanath sir holds a PhD from Banaras Hindu University, a prestigious university with research focused on Samvadas in the Valmiki Ramayana. His core skills encompass advanced Jyotisha analysis, Sanskrit literature, and curriculum design, while his creative pursuits include publishing audiovisual content and participation in traditional and modern knowledge dissemination. A warm welcome to you, sir. I would like to emphasize certain instructions. To maintain a focused and spiritual enriching environment, kindly follow these guidelines. Please keep your video switched on during the session to enable an interactive and learning space. Mute your microphone, please. Kindly ensure you are seated in a quiet and distraction-free place. And keep your Rudram text and notebook ready. Question and answers and clarifications will be taken at the end of the session. And over to you, sir. We look forward to your guidance and a warm welcome to you all again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. ॐ यो मा आग्ने भागिनगं सन्तमथा भागं चिकीर्षति अभागमग्ने तं कुरु मामग्ने भागिनं कुरु नमो ब्रह्मणे धारणं मे अस्त्वनिराकरणं धारयिता भूयासं कर्णयो श्रुतं माच्योढ्वं ममामुष्य ॐ विश्वं भूतं भुवनं चित्रं बहुधा जातं जायमानं च यत् सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः My humble pranamams to the the foremost yogi, Parameshwara, who also happens to be the beginning point of the Guru Parampara that we belong to. Sadashiva Samarambham, it is said. So it starts with Sadashiva, to that Mahaguru, to that Dakshinamurti Swarupi, Parameshwara. I offer my humble pranamas. And this is a very, uh, how should I put it? It's not an easy task. It's good to see the kind of response that we have got. I'll be very honest with you. Very candidly, I'm speaking with all of you. It's a remarkable response that we have got, but I'm not letting that to sweep me off my feet. Uh, I also understand the kind of the responsibility that I have on my shoulders of trying to decimate the meaning of Namakam and Chamakam, which forms the fifth chapter of Krishna Yajurveda Samhita. Okay, some trivia in the first line itself. So my job is fairly safe. It is a very Rudra, needs no introduction as such, because everybody is aware of what Rudra is. I mean, uh, each and every one of us present here have either heard it or have chanted it ourselves, or at least we know that what Rudra means. It's not something that we have to sit and tell what exactly Rudra is. So we don't have to do that. It's that simple. We know that it is Rudra Namakam and Rudra Chamakam. There could be 100 reasons, 100 different reasons why we want to take up Rudra. Okay. Most of it may not even be emerging from the fact that we know the meaning of Rudra Namakam and Chamakam, and therefore we want to be part of it, or we want to get the maximum benefit out of Rudra. Many a times what happens is it's a popularity thing. Everybody has learned Rudra chanting. Let me also learn Rudra chanting. That could be one of the reasons. I'm not judging anybody, but that could be one of the reasons why anybody gets hooked up to Rudra. The second thing is, when they actually chant Rudra, I observed that in one of the temples. Oh my God, what a vibration it is. Some people are here for vibration of Rudra. Uh, and some are genuinely curious to know the why exactly he's called as Rudra. And others have developed a certain amount of fondness towards the deity Shiva. So they are here because it's their most beloved deities, Veda mantras. There could be any of these reasons why we are here. But what should be the actual reason that we should be studying Rudra? And what happens if we don't understand the meaning of Rudra? First and foremost, is it necessary to understand the meaning of Rudra? Because many a times when many people have actually messaged me, and also Dr. Savitaji as well, and their primary question has been that in 20 weeks, are you going to teach us the chanting of Rudra? Okay, you take a look at this phase, and I'm that impatient that I don't think I will be able to teach cha- Rudra chanting to anybody. There are several reasons for not teaching that. One of the main reasons for that is being the fact that the way we were trained, वो जमेगा नहीं आजकल के ज़माने में. People can't hold on to that kind of intensity, and all those things are there, and of course it requires plenty of time, so that is not going to happen. So there is no chanting. There could be some people who would have unknowingly joined the course thinking that there will be some chanting going on, uh, but it is only chatting, no chanting. Okay, the N has been replaced by T, so it's only going to be a chat and chat and chat on Rudra. Okay, But is it going to help us, is the question, isn't it? If we are going to chat about Rudra, we don't have a problem, but is it necessary in the first place? Isn't it better to learn chanting so that I can use it on a daily basis or whenever there is some Rudrabhishek happening? Okay. Now, Rudrabhisheka also, I'll come to that point as well. Rudrabhisheka also has become quite a fancy thing. It has become a social thing. It's a status symbol. Every month we have a group, and in our group it is a normal thing. We have all come to an understanding that each month, one Sunday, we will meet at one person's home and we conduct Rudrabhishek and we chant Ekadashwara Rudram. Okay. None of this is wrong. I think very recently I want to bring it to notice. I mean, it is just, I should say, Daivanugraham as well as Guru Anugraham. In one of the recently concluded Vijaya Yatras, Sannidhanam, that is, Vidhushekara Bharati Mahaswamiji of Sringeri Sharada Peetham, he actually mentioned a very beautiful thing that if you end up doing Rudra wrongly, it will affect you very badly. Okay. More than Loka Kalyana, it may end up as Loka Kantaka. So you should be very careful for what purpose you are chanting and for with what mindset you are chanting. And above all these things, if you do not understand the meaning of that mantra and end up chanting that, oh my God, that is so cute because it is not going to have any sort of impact whatsoever. This is not me who is saying all these things. Uh, I'm not saying just because you are here to learn the meaning of Rudra and I'm just presenting the strongest case possible for that. No. I'm going to quote a line from the Upanishad. The Upanishad says this Yadeva vidyaya karoti shraddhaya upanishada tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. This is Upanishad. Previous to this, the Upanishad says that there are two types. Okay, teno bhau kurutah, ubhau kurutah. Two kinds of people, two types of people can involve themselves in the rituals, in all the activities mentioned by the Veda. What are those two types? First one is evam Veda yascha na Veda. He who understands it, he who comprehends the meaning of the mantra, and he who does not comprehend the meaning of mantras. So both of them are eligible. I mean, both of them carry out all the activities mentioned in the Vedas. The Upanishad is not arguing that just because you don't know the meaning or you don't comprehend the meaning of the mantras, you should stop doing the rituals. You can do, Baba, but the problem is Yadeva vidyaya karoti, shraddhaya, upanishadacha, tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. Said that which one is going to become more prominent, more dominant, and which one is going to get us the maximum amount of results. Okay. The maximum results will be gained only when we have understood the meaning. Because with meaning, vidya, yeah, vidya here refers to the understanding, the comprehension of the mantras. When we comprehend the mantras, the meaning of the mantras, then it leads us towards shraddha. It affirms our faith in Rudra. In whatever the mantra is, not just Rudra. If we do not comprehend things, then we won't be able to do it properly. It's like, we are doing just because we have been told to do so. Okay, there's a famous example. There was a father. Okay. Let me just, this is how it is going to be. So you don't have to worry, sit very straight and stiff and, where the mantra patha is going to happen. So therefore, you can relax. And as long as you can hear the meaning and hold the meaning, everything is fine. There was a father. Uh, for 45 years continuously, the father performed Shraddham. Okay. He had two sons. Both of them were there when the father used to perform his father's Shraddham. One of the years, initially, and somewhere around when the children were, when these both boys were somewhere around 12, 13 years old, the father had prepared everything for the Shraddham, and there appeared a cat. So immediately what father did was he took a basket and he put the cat inside the basket. He went to take a shower. He took the shower. He took bath, and he came back, and with with proper muddy and everything. He sat for Shraddham. He completed the Shraddham, and after the conclusion of the Shraddham, he took the cat out of basket and released it. The boys have seen it properly. Now, unfortunately, over a time, their father passed away. Now, these two boys have to perform the Shraddham, no, for their father. So they started performing Shraddham for their father. Now, their idea was that until and unless we put the cat inside the basket, you cannot begin the procedures of Shraddham. That was their understanding. So that is how they got faith in Shraddham. They thought that if there is no cat in the basket, Shraddham is incomplete. This could also be one of the reasons. But see, there is Shraddha there. I'm not arguing against the Shraddha. The boys want to follow to the T whatever their father followed. We have to absolutely, it is commendable thing that the boys are doing. However, we know that this is not good enough. Why? Because there is Shraddha. But Vidya minus Shraddha. The faith is there, but comprehension is not there. So when you have Shraddha but no Vidya, but when you do not have the comprehension of the mantra, it would be like performing Shraddha karma by putting the cat inside the basket. That's what we have been doing with Rudra as well, unfortunately. Just observe, how should you chant Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. They don't know a single meaning of the word. You go and ask anybody, Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha, Namaste Astu Dhanmane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. How many namaskaras are there in this mantra? To whom are they doing this namaskara? It's not about to whom, it's about to what are they doing namaskara. See, because I asked these questions, now you will start thinking. Otherwise, you would not have had any idea that this is a namaskara mantra. Isn't it? Interesting. So, this is the status that we are in. This is the state, this is the phase that we are in. Therefore, we need to really make a sincere effort in understanding it. When we do get to know the meaning of the mantras, our shraddha, our faith in that gets that much stronger, and only proper comprehension of the things along with shraddha gives us to, or makes way or paves way to Upanishad. Okay. What is Upanishad in this line? In this line, Upanishad means marmartha, rahasyartha, all the subtle hidden meanings. Okay. Vedas, my teacher, my professor in Banaras, he used to say that the style of Vedas is like, it comes with several layers. Okay. You may have understood, you may have unlocked one layer of the meaning of the Vedas, but it will have plenty of several other layers hidden in it. One small example I'm going to tell you: two people or one person to whom we should be ever grateful when it comes to Vedas. Okay. If we are here today assembled with the confidence that as a speaker, if I have the confidence to propose this, table this, and get it sorted out and begin the class today on this auspicious day, what is the source of strength that I have? Where is it? Where is that pool of courage that I am drawing from? It is none other than Sayanacharya. Okay. Long before these Max Mullers and Macmillans were in their cradle, Sayanacharya had given us the Veda Bhashyam. Okay. One of the fantastic, phenomenal works that we can find in our parampara, in our heritage, is Sayana Bhashyam for all four Vedas. Look at the scholarship. Just imagine the scholarship. It is beyond our imagination as well. One cannot imagine what was the sort of scholarship that Sayana had, that he was able to give us the bhashyam of each and every Veda. Each and every single mantra has been commented, it has been described by Sayanacharya. There is no alternative for Sayana Bhashya. there will be plenty of questions that will arise. What is the best possible reference work for Rudra, especially for this course? Before I could anticipate that, those questions had already appeared. So, what work should we refer? What is the source of information? Where can we get it? Now, I have shared it. You can go through it, but still, it it will not be sufficient enough to understand the meaning. Because such is the depth of this particular Rudradhyaya. I'm going to quote two commentators. I'm going to take up two commentaries, the help of two commentaries in order to give you the meaning of this entire Rudradhyaya. One is Sayana Bhashya, of course, Sayanacharya's commentary on Veda. Another one is Bhatta Bhaskara. He is also quite popular in terms of Yajurveda Bhashya. Bhatta Bhaskara is also famous. And one thing is very sure is that I'm not going to look into the commentaries written by Wilson, Max Muller, etc., etc. Not needed, not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. Okay, if anybody is interested, you please shoot that thought. Okay, please bury that thought because it is not at all going to help you in any way in understanding the depth, in understanding the essence of रुद्र. ओके, जो चीज सायण को नहीं मिला वो चीज मैक्स मुल्लर को मिलेगा. The thing that even Sayana could not identify, the thing that Sayana could not get in Rudradhyaya, we should be joking. Gods must be crazy if we ever thought that Max Muller has got it. Okay, it is not there. It's not possible at all. Because Sayana holds such a position in terms of Veda Bhashya. And I want to start with one line that he has mentioned in this particular bhashyam. So he says that karma prakarane pathad. See, even though this entire Rudra Adhyaya, which is the fifth chapter of Taittiriya Samhita, Taittiriya Yajurveda Samhita, this is the fifth chapter, and this is in between or right in the center or right in the middle of karma. Various types of karmas are being narrated in these chapters. Because it falls right in between them, we have to understand that this is also has got something to do with the rituals. Okay. And the honesty with which Sayana writes his bhashya, iha karmangata yadrig varnita brahmanena tam bodhum shabdartha matrasya vivritihi kriyate sphuta. Okay. This is the shloka, the Upodghata shloka, the preface shloka that Sayanacharya has written for Rudradhyaya, where he says that karmangata yadrig varnita, the association with various rituals that Vedas have talked about of these mantras that are found in Samhita. The mantras are found in Samhita. Point number one. However, the Viniyoga or the application of these mantras are found in the Brahmanas. Okay, the word Brahmana here appears. It is not the Chaturvaranya Brahmana. The word Brahmana is a variety of mantras. So Vedas basically, every single Veda, every Veda has got four varieties of mantras. Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. These are the four categories of mantras, which you should be quite aware of. Okay. So the combination works like this. Aranyaka and Upanishad, they go hand in hand, whereas Samhita and Brahmana go hand in hand. Because Samhita gives the mantras and Brahmanas actually tell us the application of those mantras. Okay. Pratipurushameka kapala nirvapatye kamatirittanyavantam. This is Samhita. Okay. If you have ever been to any Mahanyasa Purasara Rudrabhishekam, this mantra appears in Mahanyasam as well. Pratipurushameka kapala nirvapati. That is Brahmana Vakyam. They break up the Vakyas. Trembakam yajamaha ityaha. You might have heard this famous mantra during the Mangalarati. Mrityor mukshi yamamritaditi va vaitadaha utkiranti bhagasya lipsante, etc. etc. So that is the Brahmana Bhaga, which is explaining each and every single portion of the Samhita that existed. Similarly, this belongs to the chapter that we are going to look into. The Namakam and Chamakam is part of Samhita. However, we do not have time to get into the actual Brahmana Bhaga of Taittiriya Shakha. Okay. Ideally, this is what we must do. If you want to understand where exactly this should be applied, these mantras should be applied, why these mantras exist, in what exact activities, and how exactly are we supposed to use these mantras. If we want to know that, then we have to study Brahmanas. However, Sayanacharya has made it much easier for us because he says that Iha karmangata yadrigvarnita brahmanena. By the Brahmana Granthas, all the application orientation of these mantras have been previously described. So that is going to be Bodham Shabdartha Matrasya. He says that only word and its meaning are going to be narrated in this particular work. In his Bhashyam, in the beginning of his fifth chapter's Bhashyam, in his commentary, this is what Sayana says. Look at the honesty, look at the sincerity with which the commentator begins his work. He's not making any tall claims. I'm going to reveal you the Rudra Tattvam. No. I'm going to tell you all that is known about Rudra. No. How these mantras are to be applied in rituals which have been narrated in the Brahmana, I am going to narrate it to you by giving you word to word meaning. Very, very clear. If this was not sufficient, then Bhatta Bhaskara also mentions one more thing. He says that this is the Prayoga Krama. Okay. However, what all things can be understood, about Rudra are going to be told here, but the things related to its Upanishad part, unfortunately, we are not going to cover it in detail, is what Bhatta Bhaskara also mentions. Because they call this Rudradhyaya, even though it falls right in the center of the Samhita, even though it is considered as karmanga. I mean, these mantras are supposed to be for a certain karma. That is basically a yajna. They give the description of what sort of yajna, how to use the entire Rudradhyaya for havanam, for homa. That has been told. That is how it is being used as well. But at the same time, it is also understood that a part of this Rudra, not just it, how to divide it and how to use it for the activities is absolutely clear. That is there in the parampara that has been passed on since generations. But it is also called as an Upanishad. Jnanahetuttvamapyasya tathopanishadiritam. This is Sayana again. This is what he says. Karma prakarane pathat. Because it has been told in the karma kanda of Veda. Veda is classified into two kandas, karma kanda and jnana kanda. Just because these mantras are found in karma kanda, it is quite obvious that they must be used for certain rituals and certain activities, which is true, which we are going to explain. Karma prakarane pathat karmangatvam api ishyate. Of course, it is true that it is part of the application. However, jnana hetutvam apyasya तथोपनिषदीरितम ज्ञान हेतुत्वमस्य अस्य रुद्रस्य. I mean, this entire Rudradhyayas jnana hetutvam atmajnanau hetu. This entire Rudradhyaya is going to cause atmajnanam for us. It is going to be a tool, a path for attaining atmajnanam, for self-realization as well. That is the point that we need to deliver home, isn't it? We have been sitting on a gold mine. We have learned Rudram. We know the chanting of Rudra. Fantastic. You have been hearing Rudra every day or maybe every Monday. You just play that Rudra. Chalakere brothers. Too early for a joke. You'll get used to it. The new faces will get used to this kind of things. The old ones are like they are waiting. Like I saw some of the old faces. They are like, what is wrong with him? Why is he being so serious? He's never been this serious in initial 30 minutes. I'm just trying to get acquainted with the new people as well. They all look very serious. So I also it got rubbed on me. So I'm being serious. That's all. So we hear that Rudra mantra being chanted, but do we understand that it can cause, it can be one of the reasons for our Atma Jnana? It's like, we have never understood that this is something that can be used for Atma Jnanam, isn't it? Fantastic. So that is the purpose of Rudradhyaya as well. Of course, you can definitely use it for yajna and havanam and everything, homa. Okay, Atirudra, Maharudra, Shatarudra. You can use you can use all these mantras for havanam. However, the primary purpose of Rudradhyaya is Atmajnanam. And how does this Rudradhyaya help us in understanding or in getting this Jnana Hetutvam? Hetu means cause. Jnana means Atmajnanam. Rudradhyaya acts as a cause for Atmajnanam, not a direct cause. It can be a secondary cause. It can be an indirect cause, because just by doing this we are not going to get atmajnanam. That is not the idea. But what Rudradhyaya or Rudra Parayanam is going to help us is, it is going to elevate us, it is going to facilitate us in such a way that it makes our journey towards self realization much easier. Right now our journey towards self realization may have not even begun. If it has already begun, it has hit a major roadblock. And some of us might have even turned our faces and said, "Humse na ho payega ye." It's not for us. Let us worry about it in the next janma. Okay. If any of you find yourself in any of these three categories that I just mentioned, you don't have to fret. You don't have to worry, because Rudradhyaya is here. The, the point of Rudradhyaya is to remove that bhayam. Okay. What sort of bhayam could be there? What is the greatest danger that we can have? If there is anything, if there is anything that can hold back me from attaining moksha, if there is anything that stops me from realizing what I truly am, that is called as a danger. That is the greatest danger. And we may understand dangers differently. Yeah? We think that not paying EMI could be dangerous for me. Buying bad stocks can be dangerous for me and my portfolio. Those things are also there. But the grave danger that we have, the biggest danger that we have, is our inability to attain moksha when we were born as human beings. There is no bigger disgrace than this. There is no bigger loss than this. After being born as a human being, if we fail to attain Atmajnanam, if we fail to attain moksha, we would be committing a blunder. Okay. So, at whatever phase of life we are, it doesn't matter. We need to make up our mind, and we need to take a stand and say that whatever it is, whatever obstacles it may appear in my path, but I am going to remove all those obstacles and I'm going to keep on moving, and I'm going to attain that moksha. Iha चेदवेदीदथ सत्यमस्ति न चेदिहा वेदीत mahati vinashti. Upanishad. How beautifully it passes on. See, iha chedavedit. If you did comprehend, if you can realize, if you can witness what you truly are, if you can get that moksha here in this life, iha chedavedit atha satyamasti nachediha vedit. If you fail to do that, then mahati vinashtihi. It's a huge loss. We don't know when will we again get a chance. So, see, wise people never leave anything to chance. These are all the management motivational talks, isn't it? You have already heard all these things. You don't need it from me. Carpe diem, correct, absolutely. That's humanities person speaking. Management people don't use Latin and all. It's boring language. Look at humanities, carpe diem. It would require some time to understand what language are you speaking. Yeah. Seize the day. Carpe diem is Latin for seize the day. Uh, Seize the day for what? Seize the day for Atmajnanam. The Latin proverb did not mention for what. I can use it for this one. No? So carpe diem for Atma Jnanam. And if we fail to do so, then it's a huge miss that we will incur. Anyway, who all can actually do Rudradhyaya, or who is eligible for Rudradhyaya? Let us start from the lowest rung, okay? The highest adhikari, Uttamadhikari, we don't have to say. We will all know that who is an Uttamadhikari. Madhyamadhikari also, an intermediate person who is well equipped to comprehend Rudradhyaya, we are not interested. Let us start with the bare minimum. What all things can Rudradhyaya eliminate in our life? Okay. See. Yash Shatarudriyam Adhite. So those who study Shatarudriyam, by the way, Shatarudriyam does not mean that studying Rudra 100 times. That is not the meaning of Shatarudriyam. Shatam Rudraha Asya iti Shatarudriyam. Okay. 100 devatas are existing in this particular adhyaya, or in this particular chapter. So that chapter which contains 100 Rudras as the devatas is called as Shatarudriyam. Okay. There is an Upanishad that is called as Jabal Upanishad. It's a beautiful Upanishad. If you ever find time, you should read it. Okay. These are not so famous. These are not so famous Upanishads. Isha Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, all Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. These are the 10 prominent ones. And then we have heard Shvetashvatara Upanishad as well. And then there are some unknown Upanishads. So amongst those unknown Upanishads, Jabal Upanishad is one. And Jabal Upanishad quotes this line. And in the Jabal Upanishad, there were some brahmacharis, some shishyas. Athainam, athahainam brahmacharinah uchuhu. So they all approached Yajnavalkya. Okay. They approached Yajnavalkya and they posed a question to Yajnavalkya. Very interesting, very important question. And look at the clarity that they had, the brahmacharis had in their question. Okay. The question was quite simple. Kinjapyenaiva amritatvam ashnute. What is it, that one thing by chanting which we will be able to attain amritatvam? Kinjapyenaiva amritatvam ashnute. Mere chanting of that should elevate us to attaining amritatvam. What is amritatvam? Immortality, wrong. Chat GPT translation. No. Amritatvam does not mean immortality. Amritatvam means to break the cycle of birth and death. If it has to be in the state of mrita, what does it denote? It means that it was already jata, because jatasya hi dhruva mrityuh, no? So if it was not jata previously, how did it attain the status of being mrita? Being mrita means being dead. If something is called as being dead, isn't it obvious that it was born? So when we say not being dead, it also means not being alive as well, or not being born as well, not alive, not being born as well. So amritatvam refers to rising above death and birth. It's not just about living forever. If you have such kind of ideas about amritatva, okay, amritatulya chaha, puneri amritatulya chaha, no, that is different. It's a completely different thing. I wouldn't mind a cup now, but that's a different thing. That's a different story. We're not talking about that kind of amrita tulya. Here, amrita refers to a state where we have risen above both birth and death. Why should we rise above birth and death? What does birth and death denote? Birth and death denote bhava. Bhava means samsara. That is the reason why Bhavaya Devaya Namaha. First name. Bhavaya Devaya Namaha. He is the samsara. He is the one who, if you understand him, you understand the true nature of samsara, is what they mean. When I say he is the samsara, he is the key to understanding samsara. Because we don't know Paramatma correctly, because we don't know who I am truly, I don't know samsara either. I hope you got my point. Okay. So, jananam and maranam means samsara. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare. In the third line, Bhagavad Pada has used the word samsara. In the previous two lines, he has described what samsara means. That is Shankara Bhagavad Pada for you. Such clarity, such precision in his words that nobody can miss that. It's like quite obvious. He has made it quite obvious. What is the swarupam of samsara? How do you describe samsara? How do you comprehend samsara? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare. And what is the kind of characteristic that samsara has? Dustare. Iha samsare khalu dustare. It is dustara. Tara means that which can be crossed. Dustara means that which cannot be crossed. Bolo. This is where we are stuck. Uh, Iha samsare khalu dustare. And that's why he sought, on our behalf, he sought, Kripaya pare pahi murare. Okay. Kindly get me out of this samsara chakram. Every single sadhaka, when they reach that level, the only question that remains in a sadhaka's mind is how to go about this samsara, how to cross this samsara. Until and unless we get this question, it means we are not ready. As simple as that. How many examples are there? Jita Jagta examples are there in front of us. They might be born in the greatest family ever. They might have the best upbringing. They might have read all the scriptures. But until and unless they get that, that lalak, as they say in Hindi, they get that desire, they get that intensity to get rid of samsara, that they don't want samsara anymore, it is not going to happen. It did not happen for anybody. It is not going to. I mean, the world is not going to set a precedent with you or me, because neither one of us are extraordinary. None of us are special. We are just plain ordinary. If it did not happen for the likes of Yajnavalkya, Janaka, it is not going to happen for us. Let me be very clear. So maybe our job is to develop that intense desire to get rid of samsara. Okay. If you want to remember what samsara means, I'll give you a small hint. Okay. Because the situation is getting a little tense. So I thought that maybe a small break is needed. See, like a couple of decades ago, like around in the 80s and up until early 90s, in the Kannada speaking region, especially the old Mysore region, Hale Mysore region, okay, they used to have a peculiar word for introducing their spouse. Okay, the men, notorious, notorious man, I tell you. Thank God I have never married, because I don't belong to that category. Those who have married, you go and ask them. You know what they used to do? How they used to introduce their wives? They used to use a word. Okay. They used to introduce their wife to others as Yurnam Samsara. Those who understand Kannada, they are all laughing. Yeah. They used to introduce their wife as Yurnam Samsara. She is my Samsara. So it means that they very clever. Yeah. Happy Women's Day, by the way. Okay. Yeah. When are you going to fight for your rights? They are they have called you Samsara. Just joking, okay? You don't have to pick arms and sloganeering and everything. No, I just meant it as a joke. The reason why I mentioned all these things is it becomes much easier now to remember that samsara is that difficult, isn't it? It's not that easy to. Arey, don't laugh. If you laugh, it makes it worse. Okay. Okay. But the bondage is so difficult, isn't it, to overcome? Jananam and Maranam is associated with samsara, and there should be something that elevates us beyond this point of this infinite loop of birth and death, which is called as Amritatvam. That is what was sought by the Brahmacharis. Athahainam Brahmacharina Uchuhu Kinjapyenaiva Amritatvam Ashnute. Only by chanting which we will be able to attain that Amritatvam. Iti bruhi. Bruhi. Bruhi means please guide us, please tell us. Yajnavalkya. Sahovacha Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya responded saying, Shatarudriyena. Period. You have understood now. Shatarudriyena. You understand Rudradhyaya, you will be free of all the samsara bandhanam. So there are two types of Vaidyas. Okay. One who clears all types of diseases that get to our body and our mind as well. But what about the disease that has got stuck to the jiva? That avidya roga is there, that samsara roga is there, that maya vihita roga is there. Who is going to cleanse that roga? Who is going to you know, give medicine, prescribe medicine for that roga? There is only one who can prescribe medicine for that. You know who is that? Rudra. Bhishaktamantva bhishajaam. The whole Veda describe Parameshwara, describe Rudra as Bhishaktama, superlative degree. He is not just a Bhishak. Bhishak means Vaidya in Sanskrit. Bhishak means a doctor. Okay. Bhishak Tara means, comparatively good. Bhishak Tama is Bhishak Tama. And he is the best amongst everybody. There is nobody who can match Parameshwara when it comes to Bhava Roga. He is the Bhava Roga Vaidya. And the medicine is already prescribed. Medicine has been passed on to us thanks to this great parampara which has passed on this medicine to us. That is Rudradhyaya. We are holding on a Divyaushadham. Okay. If I have to fondly remember my acharya, my teacher, Rambhadra Acharya, he used to teach and he used to give this example, beautiful example. The old Mysore charm was there in that example. Back in the good old days in the Mysore palace during the Wadayar regime, there was a Vaidya in the Mysore palace, a royal doctor. So he had a pill, okay, one pill for all diseases. I'm not exaggerating. One pill for all diseases. And this is not a figurative sense. In literal sense, it was one pill. It was called as Kuppi Matre. Kuppi. Okay. They used to call it as Kuppi Matre. The uniqueness of this Kuppi Matre was you have to take this. I don't know the English word for that. You have to pardon my bad English. The the wooden thing that we use to get sandal paste, sane kallu, we call it in Kannada. I don't know what it is called in English. I wonder whether there is a word for that in English. Okay, we may have to coin a term for that. But you got to know that the wooden thing that we use to get the sandal paste. Okay, you take this kuppi matra, you take this medicine, this pill, and three times clockwise, if you rub it, it will become a medicine for some particular roga. Three times anti-clockwise, if you rub it, it will become a medicine for some other roga. Wonderful, isn't it? Amazing. We would love to have that kind of medicine. I don't know what people are doing in medical research. Knock, knock. Okay. Kuppi Matre. Who is it? Kuppi Matre. Kuppi Matre who? You will never get. Okay. Moving on. So, Rudradhyaya. Rudradhyaya is that Kuppi Matre. There you go. Now you understood why this little laughter was important. Now you will never forget. Not only will you not forget the joke or the information, the legend of Kuppi Matra, you will also not forget that Rudradhyaya is like that Kuppi Matra. If you want, you can use it for all the rituals. To what extent Rudradhyaya can be used, I will tell you. To an extent of abhichara karma, Rudradhyaya can be used. End point. I've given you that extreme end. For abhichara karmas, abhichara karma means black magic, to kill an enemy, Rudradhyaya can be used. There is a certain way that certain mantras have to be used, which the Kalpas have already told. Even the commentators like Sayana, Bhatta Bhaskara, they all highlight that. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you all those details. Someone will be thinking, there is this boss of mine who has not given me hike. Okay. Please tell me what mantra in Rudra should I do to get rid of my boss? Never. I'm not here to give you those kind of ideas. So if you have got such kind of ideas of seeking such information from me, good luck. It is not coming out of my mouth. Okay. And I will not even tell you where exactly you can find it. Chat GPT cannot find it. No information. It doesn't have the data with it. Anyway, but you should know at the back of your mind that Rudradhyaya's range. I'm just trying to show you the range of Rudradhyaya. Okay. It can go until there. And on the other extreme, it can release you from all the papas that you have done, and it can elevate you to moksha. What a wonderful thing that Rudradhyaya is. They say that Yash Shatarudriya Madhite, he who comprehends this Rudra, so Agniputo Bhavati. He will be cleaned by Agni. And then what all papas uh, will be removed. Okay. Swaranasteyat Puto Bhavati. Because Swaranasteya means, stealing gold. Stealing gold is considered as one of the Mahapatakas, Mahapapas. Okay. Even from that Mahapapa, we will be free. This Shatarudriya, this Rudra has got the ability to remove Mahapataka from us. So, and then Surapanat Puto Bhavati. Surapana is consumption of alcohol. Oh, social drinking is no. No intoxicated drink is allowed. Okay. So that is considered as Mahapapa. Brahmahatya Surapanam Swarnasteyaha Gurvanganagamaha. 4. Okay. Brahmahatya, to kill a Brahmana, to steal gold, to consume alcohol, and to force yourself on a woman whom you should be treating like a mother. These are the 4 Mahapatakas that Dharma Shastra lists. But there are Pancha Mahapapat Pramuchyate. No, we have heard the line Pancha Mahapapat Pramuchyate. Where is the 5th Mahapapa? I'll tell you where is it. Someone might already be thinking these 4. See, 4th one I haven't done. First one, no. I don't have the audacity to kill somebody. So Brahmahatya, no. ಸ್ವರ್ಣಸ್ಥೇಯ ಇರೋದು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಸೊ ನೋ ನೋ ಸ್ವರ್ಣಸ್ಥೇಯಂ ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋಲನ್ ಎನಿ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಆನ್ ಎನಿ ವುಮನ್ and maybe alcohol okay, but they say that Shatarudriya can remove all these things, so I'm glad that I know Rudra. No, you are already a Mahapataki. We already are Mahapatakis. Do you know how? Because the 5th one is Tat Sansargaha. If we know anybody, if we keep company of people who are involved in these things, we are no less than them. Tell me your friends, I'll tell you who you are, said the bard, isn't it? That's it. So, the association that we keep, the company we keep, reveals what kind of personality we have. Panchamahapapas. Okay, anyway, don't worry. It doesn't mean that after committing all these Mahapapas, I should start reading Rudradhyaya. Until then, I have time. No, that's not the idea. Even if knowingly or unknowingly, if you have committed these Mahapatakas, Rudradhyaya will help you to overcome them. That is the idea. Okay. Surapanat puto bhavati, brahmahatyat puto bhavati, krityat puto bhavati. Krityat means, the things that are not mandated for me, but I have done that. That will incur some papa, that will incur some bad things. You will be able to overcome that as well. Tasmad atyashrami sarvada sakridva japet. Atyashrami. Atyashrama means those who have gone beyond all the ashramas. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, those who are avadhutas. They say that even for avadhutas, they are mentioning that they should sakridva rudram japet. At least once they should chant rudram. It is such a powerful tool, I tell you. Such a powerful set of mantras. Anena jnanam apnoti. With this Rudradhyaya, this is the ultimate phala of Rudradhyaya. Anena Rudradhyayena jnanamapnoti. We will attain Atma Jnanam and then Samsararnavanashanam. And what is this speciality of this Atma Jnanam? Samsararnavanashanam. It eliminates the samsara forever. Okay. Tasmadevam viditvainam kaivalyam phalamashnote. Therefore, he who understands the purpose of Rudradhyaya as such shall attain moksha. If we still want to hold on to Rudra for various purposes, I think my health is not so good. Let me do one Rudradhyaya, one Rudrabhishekam. Okay. Every Monday, I'm a great Shiva Bhakta. I'll go to Shiva temple, do one Rudrabhishekam and come. Nanjangud. I'll go to Nanjangud. Oh my God, they make such delicious Panchamritam. I'll do Rudrabhishekam. You're doing Rudrabhishekam for the sake of Panchamritam, not for the sake of Jnanam. Okay. These could be the reasons why we are doing and conducting Rudrabhishekam as well. You should be very careful. Then, Rudraikadashini Japtva. If you chant Rudra in one day, what will happen? They said, Rudraikadashini Japtva Tadanhaiva Vishuddhyati. On that morning in which he studies, he chants or he comprehends, he listens, he goes through Rudradhyaya, he will be free of all the papas. Alledra alle Buhuman. On that day, on that morning, you don't even have to wait till next day. No. On that moment, that is the power of Rudra. Okay. And there are many things that are told for those who donate. Okay. They say that Yascha Sagara Paryantam, Sashaila Vanakananam, those who were Chakravartis back then, okay, whose territories expanded till the shores of ocean, okay, all that bhumi, if you give dhanam, okay, tasmadapyadhikam tasya, sakrit rudra japad bhavet. Sakrit. Only once if we understand the meaning of each and every mantra and chant Rudra, only once in our lifetime, it will fetch us more phala than this sort of bhudana. But how should we chant this Rudradhyaya? There should be a way of understanding this Rudradhyaya. No? Mamopata samastadurita kshayadvara Sri Parameshwara Prityartham. That is fine. And then comes Mama Gotrodbhavasya Nakshatre Rashau Jatasya Sakutumbasya. Then comes the list. Okay. Ashtaishvaryabhivriddhyartham. That vridhyartham, this vridhyartham, that siddhyartham, this siddhyartham. Everything. No. How should you chant Rudra? Or how should you comprehend Rudra? One line and it should break it like anything. And it should nail on the coffin kind of thing. Mama bhavam samutsrijya yastu rudran japet sada satenaiva rudre dehena rudra sanjayate dhruvam. He who gives up the mamatvam, mama bhava. Mama bhava means that mamakara is there. No? All this belongs to me. I belong to them. This sort of mamakara should be left behind. That mamatvam should be removed. And then Rudradhyaya should be comprehended or Rudradhyaya should be chanted. And when we do the japa of Rudra, after having given up the mamakara, they say that they themselves will become Rudra. What do they mean? That is Advaita, no? That is the moksha. Not sarupyam, salokyam, not that kind of thing. No, no. You will attain moksha when you give up all the mamakara. That is the right way of chanting, or that is the right way of listening. Oh, I can't chant. No, you don't have to. When you can actually fetch the result only by properly listening, why do you want to put extra effort? 5 mark question. You are supposed to write one paragraph of an answer. Just because you know, just because you can write, if you write 10 pages of an answer, the evaluator cannot give you 10 marks for that question. I mean, for that answer. He will anyway end up giving you only 5 marks, isn't it? Just like that. Nobody can hold more than what they can digest. So when there is nothing to be felt here, feeling that, thinking that I am left out of this Rudradhyaya. No. Why do you think so? If you are capable enough to hear and comprehend, if you can concentrate that much and comprehend properly, that is sufficient. And you sit in the temple and the Rudrabhishekam is happening and you are looking at the Shivalingam and the Rudra Parayanam is going on. And if you can comprehend those mantras properly, I'll tell you, finished. We're done. Anyway, so what all things should be chanted by us on a daily basis? Chamakam namakam chaiva, Paurusha Suktam tathaiva cha, or Purusha Suktam tathaiva cha. These are the first things that are taught to everybody. Purusha Suktam, okay? And then Rudra Namakam and Chamakam. These three things, if Nityam Trayam Prayunjanaha, Brahmaloke Mahiyate, he attains that Brahmalokam, is what is told. Okay. Then there are two premier Dharma Shastrakaras. Okay. They were brothers, Shankha and Likhita. Okay. Those were the names of two Dharma Shastrakaras, Shankha, Likhita. Amongst them, Shankha writes this line. He says, Rahasi Kritanam Mahapatakanam api Shatarudriyam Prayaschittam. Known and unknown types of karmas and papas that we have committed, knowingly or unknowingly. And even after committing that papa, we have kept it hidden. Yargu helbadi. And we have kept it hidden. Nobody should know about this. I have done this, but nobody should know about this. Rahasi kritanam papanam prayaschittam shatarudriyam. One shatarudriyam, you will be free of all this papa. Okay. It doesn't mean that, oh, I have done only few papas. Let me complete the quota of papas and then come to Shatarudriyam, then come to Rudradhyaya. You don't have to do that. You can take it up right away. Okay. Ayancha Brahma Vidya Rupatvad Upanishad Mantra Rashif Prashnaha. This is Bhatta Bhaskara very clearly mentioning as part of his conclusion to the preface of Rudradhyaya, because today's first lesson, according to the plan that I have proposed as well, first day is all about building up that why we should do Rudradhyaya, what is it that we are going to gain by understanding Rudradhyaya. So this is what we are going to understand from Rudradhyaya. And he said, Brahma Vidya Rupatva. This is not no less than Brahma Vidya. Therefore, mantra, this should be treated as Upanishad. Okay. Now, Anayacha Rudropanishada. This Rudradhyaya is also known by the name Rudropanishad. Okay. With this Rudropanishad, he says, Brahma Vidya Pratipadyate. Brahma Vidya is being told. From this entire Rudradhyaya, it is Brahma Vidyopadesha that is happening. Basically, Brahmopadesha is happening. Whatever the nature of Upanishads is. Now, Upanishads are generally known to deliver Atma Vichara or Brahma Vichara, isn't it? Rudradhyaya that we are taking up is no less than that. Rudradhyaya is also delivering us Brahma Vidya only. That is what he means to say here. Brahma Vidya Pratipadyate, and then Brahmanascha Trini Rupani Santi. Brahma has got three rupas. Okay. Now, the first one is Ekam Karya Rupam. That is the Karya Rupa Sarvopadanataya Sarvatmakam. Karya Rupa is, it's in the form of the effect. What is the effect? This entire thing that we see, the entire creation that we see is an effect. He is the cause, and this entire creation, entire Srishti is an effect. So that Srishti itself is Rudra. That is the Virat Rupa of Brahma. We call Brahma as Virat, isn't it? ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः. Vishwarupa. Many people have this belief that Ritagam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham is a Vishnu Sambandhi mantra. Okay. It's in Rudra. It is a part of Rudra. You'll be surprised to know that all these great mantras related to Rudra, Nidhana Pataye Namaha, all these mantras appear in Mahanarayana Upanishad. People would have been heartbroken. We thought that Shiva and Vishnu are two different entities, but what is this Upanishad is doing? They are not different entities. Those kind of things, we should be leaving them behind. We are on the highway. You have already gotten onto the highway of the Upanishads. The highway of Upanishad enables us to understand that Rudra, Vishnu, there is no difference between them. They are all one and the same. Now, see, the Karya Rupam is the entire creation. That is the first one. Itarat Purushakhyam Srishtisthiti Samhara Nimittam. The second one is the cause of this entire Srishtisthiti Laya. That is Parameshwara. That is in the form of the Supreme One. That is the second Swarupam of Brahma. Dvayamapi avidyakam. Avidyakam means it is caused because of avidya. The samsara is also existing because of avidya. Ishvara bhava is also because of avidya. Because only Atma is true, no? Therefore, both of them are avidyatmakam, avidyakam, anyat param rupam. There is another form, the original form, that is nirgunam, niranjanam, satyajnanananda lakshanam. That is the third form of Brahma. Three forms of Brahma. One is Karya Rupam, another one is Karana Rupam, another one is Karya Karanetara Rupam. Okay. Nirguna, Nirakara, Niranjana, Satyajnanananda Swarupa Brahma. These are the three forms of Brahma that has been described in Rudradhyaya. This is called as Mahavakyartha. Okay. Mahavakyartha means what is the generalized summary? What is the major takeaway of the entire Rudradhyaya? After that, we will deal with each and every mantra. That thing is there. But first and foremost, we need to get the overall picture of Rudradhyaya. Because if we have the overall picture, then it will be easier for us to fit each and every mantra. Then then we will know how to receive or how to perceive these mantras. Otherwise, we will end up perceiving mantras in a wrong way. Right. And then there are three types of there are two types of sharira. Rudra appears in two types. Okay. One is Ghora, another one is Shiva or Aghora. Okay. Ghora and Aghora are the two forms in which Parameshwara appears. Aghore taghoreebhyo ghora ghoratarebhyah sarveebhyah sarvasharveebhyo namaste astu Rudra rupebhyah. These are all the forms of Rudra. Ghora Rupa and Aghora Rupa. Okay. And this is where we are going to take a pause, because this understanding that Rudra has got Ghora Rupa and Aghora Rupa. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Shiva. Remember that? Shiva Tanuhu. Shiva Tanuhu. Shiva means Aghora. Okay. So both these forms exist in Parameshwara. Both these forms exist in Rudra, and both these forms are addressed in this Rudradhyaya. Okay. Now, with this much of background, this much of preface that we have built for Rudradhyaya, I hope that it is beyond doubt for anybody that we must be looking at Rudradhyaya. We are hooked to Rudradhyaya. Why we should know the meaning? I did not tell you that what happens if we don't understand the meaning and still end up chanting it. I told you the Upanishad line. Yadeva vidyaya shraddhaya upanishada karoti tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. But Sayana had a different idea. And he wanted to motivate people to know the meaning of mantras in a different way. So he said, Sthanurayam bharaharaha adhitya vedam navijanati yortham. Vedamadhitya. He has studied all the Vedas, all the Veda mantras. Just like this, he can say, okay, what about Artha? Navijanati Artham. Artham Navijanati. He doesn't know the meaning of the mantras, but he knows the mantras. What is he? He says that Sthanurayam Bharaharaha is like a donkey carrying weight. Doesn't know. The donkey doesn't know the weight. Donkey doesn't know the value of things that it is carrying, doesn't it? You put a heap of sand or you put a heap of gold, both seems same for the donkey. So we should not be donkeys. When we don't understand the meaning of the mantras and still continue chanting the mantras, we end up being that. Not only that. Geeti, Shigri, Shirahkampi, Tatha Likhita Pathakaha, Anarthagnaha, Alpakanthascha, Shadete, Pathakadhamaha. Okay. A staunch warning has been sent by Shiksha Shastra. Shiksha, which is phonetics, which is a Vedanga. And it says that there are 6 idiots when it comes to Veda Adhyanam. 6 types of idiots that exist in Veda Adhyanam. Geeti. Every mantra they sing it, not Samaveda. They say it in a very musical way. They try to be very musical about that. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan. No, this one. Okay, I don't want to continue that. Ridiculous. Utterly rubbish. That is called as Geeti. The first one. And Shigri. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudramanya Uto Daishavaya Namaha. How many minutes do you want for Rudra? 5 minutes is sufficient. Entire Rudra, 5 minutes I'll finish. Shigri. He who chants very swiftly, he is considered as an idiot. Shirah Kampi. I'll tell you, I'll demonstrate. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave. Then Shirah Kampi. That Shirah Kampanam should not happen. Head should not move either udhar. When we were being trained, we were asked to keep a lemon at the top of our head, and that lemon should not fall down. That's how you should chant mantra. Even the slightest movement is sufficient for the lemon to fall down. Imagine how Veda should be chanted. Whole book. All the magic, all the unnecessary things that we will be doing and thinking that we are chanting. We are the highest degree of idiots. Geeti Shigri Shirah Kampi. And then Tatha Likhita Pathakaha. There will always be some people who will say that this happened in the previous workshop that we did. Ganapati Atharva Shirsham. Okay. I have encountered this with many of the Veda Pandits as well. Yetattava manuswarupam is the mantra. Okay. Manu means mantra. This is the form of your mantra. Gakara purva rupam, akaro madhyama rupam, anuswarascha antya rupam, binduruttara rupam, nada sandhanam. 5 parts. G, A, M, nada, finished. नाद संधानम संहिता संधि सैषा गणेश विद्या गणकर्षि निचुत गायत्री छंदः. Then Ganapatir Devata, okay, fine. What is the mantra? Om Gang Ganapataye Nam. There is no Ganapate, Om Gam. That is the mantra. No, no, no. The text that I am following, this is 18th century text. My great grandfather had this text, okay? Tatha Likhita Pathakaha. Those who read as it is from the text, those who are not willing to understand the logic behind it. Idiots of highest order, category 4. Then fifth category is anarthagnaha. Those who don't know the meaning of the mantras. They are also idiots of highest order who belong to category number 5. Then the sixth category is alpakantaha. They don't have the strength in their throat, in their voice. Their voice is very weak, meek. Okay, they sound very squeaky. They are not for Veda mantras. You need to have a good kantha. Ayurghritam. If you cannot, then have to be like that. Keeping a mic and shouting mantras, that's all recent ones. You don't have to shout, but you need to have the, you should be able to chant mantras in that particular mandalam. Rigveda mantras should be chanted in Ring Mandalam, Yajurveda mantras in Yajur Mandalam, Samaveda mantras in Sama Mandala. That is how it should be chanted. And you need to have, for that, you need to have the support of your voice. Alpakantha, 6 categories. I'll very quickly recap. Geeti Shigri Shirah Kampi Tatha Likhita Pathakaha Anarthajnolpakanthascha Shadete Pathaka Dhamaha Adhamaha. Therefore, anarthagnya is also one of the categories of being idiotic in terms of Veda. Therefore, we are at least trying, we are beginning to attempt to get our name striked off from the fifth category. As it happens, we find our name in all 6 categories, not one, all 6 categories. Geeti, yeah, we have done that. Shigri, every single day, that is what I do. 8:30, I have to catch metro. 8 o'clock, I am doing Sandhyavandanam. What Sandhyavandanam will you be able to do at 8 o'clock? Uh, it is not Sandhyavandanam until you have spilled plenty of water. Okay. There are many types of Sandhyavandanam. Some other day I will tell you. Okay. One fine day I will tell you how many types of Sandhyavandanam are there. Rigveda Sandhyavandanam, Yajurveda Sandhyavandanam, Samaveda Sandhyavandanam, Atharvana Veda Sandhyavandanam. And then there is one more. I'm afraid to say that. It's like, it's called as Anketi Sandhyavandanam. Okay. If there are any of my fellow brothers and sisters of my community, they will find me, they will shoot me, they will hang me for saying this. But you should go and see how they do Sandhyavandanam. Okay. The famous cities. Okay. The dual cities in the Uttar Karnataka region. That's all I will say. Okay. It will be somewhere around 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the night. In the Suryastam has happened. After having a cup of coffee, they will come and sit on the hajara in front of their houses. They will sit one achamanam, and then begins the entire story, gossiping of the whole day. Everything will be discussed in the name of Sandhyavandanam. Bhad mein gaya aisa Sandhyavandanam. If this is the idea of doing Sandhyavandanam, you better not do it at all in the first place. It is Brahmopasana. Guru used to say that Sandhyavandanam is Brahmopasana. And we have taken it so lightly. I mean, it's a shame that we have got Sandhyavandanam and we are not doing it. There are alternatives for others who cannot do Sandhyavandanam. So don't come to me crying that, we don't have Adhikara for Sandhyavandanam, that, this and all. Okay. The Brahmopasana methodology is there for each and every human being, devised by our rishis. Before we say that, I am not allowed to do this, for many years we have been oppressed. Now, please don't say that. Go and read Dharma Shastra, and you will get to know how many provisions have been provided for all people of all strata of society. No human being is left behind. That is the motto of our rishis. Nobody left behind. Each and everybody has got an adhikara for Brahmopasana. Sandhyandanam is the highest order of Brahmopasana. And here I am gossiping and everything. Sandhyandanam. So basically saying that Geeti Shigri and then Shirah Kampi, Shirah Kampanam. We do that. Shirah Kampanam is a shaking the head while chanting the mantra is almost inevitable for us nowadays. Okay. Tatha Likhita Pathakaha. I am following this particular publication. This is the only right publication. This is the only right print. I'm not going to take up any of the suggestions that you tell. That's why one Yajurveda, Dravida Patha is different, Andhra Patha is different. then anarthagnya. This all has come down to the fact that the most crucial idiot amongst all these six categories is the fifth one, anarthagnya, because we don't know the meaning of the mantras. We can't apply it properly. We can't appreciate it completely. See, until and unless we appreciate and apply it, we can't establish the value. We won't be able to know the value of thing. So if we want to understand the value of Veda, if we want to think that Veda is inherited by us, the most valuable thing that we have inherited, when will we be able to understand that? Only when we have applied it to our life and only when we have appreciated. And in order to appreciate, you need to know the meaning, no? Without knowing the meaning, how can you appreciate them? Right. So anarthagnya and then alpakantha. So these are the six categories, and given a fair idea of what exactly this Rudradhyaya is all about and why we should be reading Rudradhyaya and why we should be understanding the meaning of Rudradhyaya. If we know the meaning of Rudra, then it will help us to elevate ourselves to get rid of samsara. That's the only agenda. If you are going to get any other agendas in the mind, don't worry. Every single week, I will shoot you down. If you get any such wrong ideas that Rudra can be used for this, Rudra can be used for that, I'll do Rudra chanting for the betterment of world. You take care of Uddhare Atmana Atmanam. That is sufficient. I don't have to do so many things for others and all those things unnecessary. You do it for your sake. That is more than sufficient. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think I've been very greedy in the first session. I've taken up all the minutes that were given to me, plus an extra minute, I believe. Or is it so? My clock says that I still have around 7 to 8 minutes left, isn't it? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. Okay. And I think we can have some very quick question answers if there are any. Yes. Dr. Maithiliji, please go.
Namaskara. Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. I think you mentioned two brothers in Dharma Shastra, the Shanka and Likita.
Likita,
You didn't talk about Likita. What did he say?
No, they both have spoken about two different things. I mean, they have divided and captured the entire Dharmashastra spectrum. So Shankha actually writes about what the prayashchittas and all these things.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Rajivji, go.
Namaste. Just a question about the speed. Thank you for clarifying the six stupidities. How slow can we go? The reason for this question is the slower we go, I mean, it's just probably trying to combine methods of meditation with the chanting. And obviously, one of the ways to slow our mind, eventually get rid of the mind, is to probably slow the breathing, and that is also possible by slowing the chanting. So is there a limit on how slow we can go, that it doesn't become apabramsha or...
Good, very good question. The answer is that it lies in the parampara itself. They would teach in such a way that it should. The idea is each and every swara should be very clearly heard, because the meaning is hidden in the swaras. The udatta and anudatta and swarita that we see, they are the denoters, they are the placeholders of the hidden meaning. So the famous example that we have heard, Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, they say that Adyudatta and Antodatta. This is what they say. The first letter became Udatta in one samasa. The last letter in Indra Shatru became Udatta in the other samasa. So how do we understand these nuances? We will be able to understand these nuances only when we can pay attention to these swaras as well. So the answer is, to put it in a very abstract way, it should go as slow as it reveals the swaras properly. Swaras are the heart, and they are the heartbeat of Veda mantras. And if we chant the swaras wrongly, then it will take away the entire meaning. It's a disaster. So,
as Parandama had said, chanting it wrongly is bad for you and bad for the world as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's make sure. Thanks. If I can be allowed for one more
yeah, please.
hopefully short question. Um, as you said at the, I think one of the earlier in the session, no difference between any different forms of gods that we pray to. As an Advaita, there is only Brahman. Obviously, a guru who has realized and manifested Brahman is none but the Brahman. So when I pray, does it make a difference if I pray to, for example, Krishna, or if I pray to the Guru? Because there is such an emphasis on the Guru, but because of my, karma or vasana, I feel the pull to pray to, for example, Krishna. So, do I need to retrain myself to pray to the Guru, or can I continue with my current vasana of praying to Krishna?
You can do that. You can do that. See, as long as this Bheda Buddhi exists, it means that we are still in avidya. We are still in Maya. So there is no way that we can say that all the other things have been eliminated. Now I'm doing only Brahmopasana. The very fact that I say that I am doing, or I am pursuing Brahma itself, shows that there is duality there. So, therefore, it shouldn't really matter whether you go ahead with Guru or Krishna. The idea is yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati. That's the whole idea, to see the one in everything and to see everything in one. That is the whole idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Pranindraji, go on.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I think you made it very clear that just chanting the Vedas or Rudram without comprehending it is of no use. But what about the converse? We comprehend the Rudram or the Vedas, but we do not chant it. Is that okay?
As long as you have comprehended correctly and you are able to comprehend it, not only when you have the required equipments with you, like a book or something, even when you do not have any of them, and if you can comprehend those meanings, then it should be fine. It's not mandatory that you have to chant at all. Without chanting, it is not there, and that is not the idea. As long as that contemplation keeps on happening of the meaning, it is fine. Yeah, that is the meaning of the word japa as well, no?
Okay. So thanks, sir. So does that mean that sixth issue that you spoke about the six problems that you spoke, you said the sixth one is
Alpakanta.
Alpakanta. So that's a physical disability, right? So
Yeah.
if you have a physical disability,
Yeah.
just comprehension is enough. That's as good as. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a very good
Acharya,
question.
Namo
Yeah.
Namaha.
Namaste. Yeah.
Yeah, namaste. So can you tell just a quick line about Abhinava Shankaracharya's Rudrabhashyam also? I hope it's not inappropriate to
No,
ask.
not at all. See, it's really brilliant that you actually brought it up. It's a fantastic work, and it's mostly focused on understanding the Vedantic principles in these mantras. So down the line, we will definitely take it up as well. As and when it is convenient, and as and when it kind of makes more sense, and it's quite deliverable. The reason why I'm saying this is with a very clear agenda that I don't want to make it sound like a hardcore Vedantic approach, which may drive people away from Rudra. The idea is to hold people in Rudra and make them understand the depth and intensity of Rudra. At the same time, also leading them towards understanding the Vedantic principles hidden behind it. That's a very, very, very valuable point that you mentioned. It will be taken into consideration in due course. The reason I did not mention that is because I did not want to sound overwhelming. It's like, oh, 3 commentaries. Oh, no, we are not cut out for this. I didn't want to make it sound that overwhelming. That's why I held back. But it will definitely be taken into consideration. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a question here, just a off-topic question. How is chanting Rudram or doing Rudrabhisheka is related? Shiva Vasa time in Panchanga. I did not know. What is Shiva Vasa time in Panchanga? Is that Shiva Ratri or what is Shiva Vasa time in Panchanga?
So in Drik Panchanga, if you see, they have mentioned something like Shiva Vasa when you have to do Rudrabhishekam, which is the feasible time, something like that. So I just wanted the clarification.
Oh, no. Any time is fine for Rudra, as long as we are contemplating correctly. And usually when it comes to the deity Shiva himself, deity Parameshwara himself, Pradosha Kala is preferable for Rudra Japa or Rudra Parayana or Rudra Abhisheka and all these things. It doesn't mean that you cannot do Abhishekam in the morning. You can definitely do the Abhishekam in the morning as well. But preferable time is Pradosham.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with this, we come to the end of the first online session on Rudradhyaya. Today's session has definitely opened the door to understanding why one has to do Rudradhyaya, and Sir has given an insightful thoughts about this, and heartfelt gratitude to you, sir. And thank you all for being here despite having a cricket match. So I'll also share, sir, can you share the text that you have given?
Yeah.
So I'll share in the group. And also the first recording, the introduction, which was done on Shivaratri, that recording will be shared with you all. I think some of you might have heard that, and also you were there on as participants, but you can also listen to that. And we will again meet next week, 6 p.m. On Sunday, Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.